I'm a regular over at the Trial Watch Clips channel, where you go for clips of your favorite judges and your favorite attorneys and your favorite trials and your favorite cases.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. As said, on behalf of the people, Your Honor, the people would waive any potential conflict between this honorable court and Office of Public Defender. While the people don't believe such a conflict exists, the people make this waiver in avoidance of all doubt.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry, Public Defender's Office. Likewise, does not believe conflict exists. Thus, we also waive.
The court, for its part, also does not believe there's a conflict either in the Michigan court rules. Those are cases decided they were under. To the extent a conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matters. Before I call the first case, counsel, I know our internet is down.
It's back up for us. Same here.
Really? You guys stole internet? Hang on one moment. Let me just. I'll just operate off 5G. I'm fine. All right. So everybody's back up. Let's just go. All right. Court does call the case. People versus Nicholas Bonsack. Bonsack.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Oh boy.
Parallel on behalf of the people requesting permission to practice under Michigan Court Rule 8.120 under the supervision of Assistant Prosecutor Alexander.
Any objection?
I've never been asked that.
No.
No objection.
No objection. Okay. Permission to practice is granted.
That would be hilarious if I said yes, though.
This said sustained. And we would go.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Bosniak, who should be on Zoom. Mr. Bosniak, please state your name for the record.
Michael
Yeah.
Basonic III.
Masonic. Okay.
Sonic, sorry.
Nope, you gets it right.
We are requesting an adjournment to review discovery. Our office did review that Friday, just needed a little bit of extra time to go over that with our client.
All right. Hang on a second. I've got stuff all over the place. All right. I'll adjourn the matter to. Say again.
June 16th.
Okay. June 16th, 2025, 1 p.m. And we'll continue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's Lo didn't even do anything. Put her name on nothing.
She was here representing.
I just. Oh, you're just gonna stick up for her like that? Really? Okay. Court does call the case. People versus, is it Jamoya Byers? This is an arraignment. Hello, what's your name?
Jamoya Byers.
Okay. Ma'am, you are before the court on a complaint that alleges that on or about May 2nd, 2025, at the location of 3000 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan, that you did commit the offense of domestic violence on Narnell Lincoln. Do you understand the nature of that charge, ma'am?
Yeah.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days jail, $500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. First question I have for you is, do you want to be represented by an attorney?
Yes.
All right. This is a public defender case.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Byers. We'd waive any further reading, stand mute to the charges, Your Honor, and request an additional pretrial date.
Defendant having waived formal reading, standing mute, court will enter a not guilty plea. Pretrial in this matter will be adjourned to June 16th, 2025, 9 a.m. I need a DD bound form. I don't have one. Anything you want to say regarding bond?
Your Honor, I do ask for standard conditions and a personal bond. I did have a chance to briefly speak with Ms. Byers out in the hallway. She indicated that her and the complainant in this case are married. They do not live together, however. So I would ask for a no go-to in this case.
Say that again, that last part you said.
Well, since they're not living together, I'm asking for that the court do not enter a no go-to. I would ask for.
1000 Carpenter Road it's a business, isn't it?
2000 Carpenter Road, do you know where that is?
You know what that is?
Is that the store?
3000 Carpenter Road.
Okay. And given that they are married, Your Honor, I don't know any of the facts of this case. I would ask the court consider no non-consensual contact.
Your Honor,
Yes.
on behalf of people, on the police report, it has her address as one in Ann Arbor. His address is a location in Taylor, Michigan. So I don't believe
that there. It's like Kroger, isn't it?
it's the gas station, at the corner of Pepper and Carpenter.
It's the Speedway.
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. All right, what I will do is I'll set the defendant's bond at $10,000 personal recognizance bond. I will order standard conditions, including no assaultive behavior or any possession of any weapons. There is also to be no use of any alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal drugs. Do you understand all that, ma'am?
Yes.
I'm also going to indicate that you are to submit to random drug testing. You're not, as indicated, to possess any alcohol or illegal drugs or recreational marijuana. You're not to leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. I will indicate also that you are not to possess, as I've indicated, any firearm, ammunition, or other dangerous weapon or anything fashioned to be a weapon. You're not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. I'm not going to order no non-consensual contact. I'm going to indicate that I'll order no contact with or no Lincoln, except with a civil standby with the police. You're not to have or attempt to have any direct or indirect contact with that named individual in person or through others. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes.
You also cannot have contact by electronic communication, including but not limited to phone, email, texting, internet, or social media, or refer to that person listed, which is Arnell Lincoln, online in any form. You understand that?
Yes.
I think that no contact is going to have to be his address. I will order no contact, so.
Your Honor, would that be a no-go too?
I mean, no go to, I'm sorry.
Can you write down your phone number? That's what her name. Anywhere.
Do you have that address or you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
23570 Clinton Street in Taylor, Michigan.
Said Clinton.
Correct.
That's my phone.
Ma'am, I'm going to prohibit you from going to that location. Understand that?
Okay.
That is not your home address. I don't need to give you that. You're not to violate any criminal law. You're to personally appear at all court hearings or other places as directed by the court. You understand all of that, ma'am?
Yes.
Need her to sign off on bond conditions.
Sign right there. It is, June 2nd. I can get you a copy of this as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does call the case versus Mark Juan. Is it Gracie?
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Grace. Mr. Grace, please state your name for the record.
Mark Juan Q Gracie.
Grace. We are requesting an adjournment. We're doing a little bit of investigation. The 16th should be okay.
That objection, this matter will be adjourned 16, 2025. Next, bond continue.
Thank you.
Thank you. Court does call the case People versus Shaquille Lloyd.
Hello, on behalf of the people.
Okay, sounds good. Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Lloyd. Mr. Lloyd, please state your name for the record.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. State your name, and you need to be someplace stationary, sir.
Jaquil Elijah Lloyd.
All right.
Your Honor, we are requesting an adjournment of the pretrial to review the media discovery on this case.
Matter will be adjourned June 16, 2025, 9 a.m. or 1 p.m., excuse me. Bond with its conditions will continue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talking.
Court does call the case People versus Travis Oliver.
Yes, you can leave, Mr. Lloyd. Okay.
Ali's on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Oliver. I believe should be on Zoom.
Your name, sir?
Travis Oliver.
Biggest fire tablet. Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, today's the date and time set for sentencing. Ms. Pate and Mr. Oliver did review the pre-sentence report and do not have any additions, deletions, or additions, with the exception of that his driver's license starts with an O and not a W. So we wanted to make sure that that was correct, but other than that, no changes. And we ask that you adopt probation's recommendation.
Mr. Oliver, is there anything you want to say to the court before I impose sentence?
No, sir.
It is a sentence of the court. I'm going to place you on 12 months prosecutor deferred sentence. You're to pay $555 fines and court costs, $360 probation oversight fees. When can you get that paid, sir?
Few months.
Do you have anything that you can pay on this today?
Yes, I could put 50 to it today.
$50 today. The balance will be due. Skip due date. Balance will be due by July 31st, 2025. There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance. You'll be subject to random testing as directed by probation. You're to complete an anger management program as directed by probation. There's to be no contact with Carolina Eliste. No going to the residence or employment of that individual. No assaultive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. You're not to possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition, or anything fashioned to be a weapon. I'll set a review hearing that's to be held September 8th, 2025, 1 p.m. I'll order 93 days in jail. Credit 3, balance is suspended. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court calls the cases of the people versus Anthony Randolph. Are both on?
Yes, they are.
Hello, yeah.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Mr. Randolph. Mr. Randolph, please state your name for the record.
Anthony Randolph.
All right.
Here's Claire on behalf of probation. Mr. Randolph is scheduled for review hearing for 2 cases, one being a probation case, another that along with the probation case as he owes fines and costs in that matter. Your Honor, Mr. Randolph was last before the court with review. At that time, he was trying to find stable employment. He has found another job and he's working at a cafe in Ohio. It did conflict with what job he was working at Amazon, so he is only currently working one job, only part-time. Mr. Randolph, I did speak with him about making a payment. He last made his last payment in March. In the probation case, Your Honor, I looked at the balance and dividing that up into equal payments, equal monthly installments. I'm asking that Mr. Randolph make a $200 payment on or before today, then $200 bi-weekly beginning June 20th, 2025. That he continue all other terms as previously ordered, with the final review hearing being set August 18th, 2025. Probation is aware that that payment might be a little steep for Mr. Randolph. However, I took the ending of his probation date and assessed that. Mr. Randolph, I believe he knows that he's got to get me updated income or proof of income so the court could assess that. And so I need to have that. As far as this other case that's before the court, he's made no payments on that. And so the court can keep that in consideration.
Your Honor, we have no objection to that recommendation. I did speak with Mr. Randolph. However, he believes he can make that payment. He just, I don't think he gets paid until Friday. So he's asking until Friday to make that initial $200 payment.
All right. Mr. Randolph, anything you want to say?
No, Your Honor. I believe that this month I should have 3 pay periods that fall in between now and rent. So I should be able to get myself caught up, if not ahead, on that pay plan before I have to, devote that first month of June to rent. So I should be all right with that.
I'm going to order on the case ending in 843 that the defendant is to pay $200 on or before June 6, 2025, then $200 bi-weekly beginning June 20th, 2025. Continue all terms as previously ordered. I'll set a final review hearing August 18th, 2025 at 1 p.m. I will adjourn his other case then to that August, what did I say, 18th, 2025 at 1 p.m. And hopefully he will have paid, and then we have to figure out what we're going to do on a payment plan on your other case. All right?
Sounds good, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Court does call the case People versus Zia Combs.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Combs was scheduled before the court for a review hearing. He is fully compliant with the terms ordered by the court. I did date appearance. Probation is recommending that all conditions continue as previously ordered, with the final review hearing being set September 8th, 2025 at 1.
All right. I will, hearing no objection, I'll continue all terms as previously ordered. I'll set his final review hearing September 8th, 2025, 1 p.m. Court does call the case of the People versus, I'm going to mess it up, Janiston Crane. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perry on behalf of Ms. Frame, whose appearance has been waived.
Hello, on behalf of
Moving too quickly.
Teresa Claire, on behalf of
What?
probation, Your Honor, this rate.
Hold on a second. What are you sorry about?
I went first.
Oh, you're stepping on our line.
I am.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Miss. Just ignored her, did you? Were you trying to hurt her feelings?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying.
Yes, sorry, Your Honor. This frame was scheduled before the court for a review hearing. She is compliant with the terms ordered by the court, and I did waive her appearance. Probation is recommended to all conditions.
Those having business before the court draw near. The Honorable Judge Simpson presiding.
You may be seated. All right.
Good morning.
All set.
Just trying to make a phone call. Good.
All right. You go ahead and make your phone call. Miss Lundy.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Londy for the people. Your Honor, this time people would waive any conflict between this honorable court and the office of the public defender. People do not believe that any conflict exists. Make waiver for the avoidance of all doubt.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Miss Perry.
Assistant Public Defender Lauren Penny, the Public Defender's Office likewise is not pleased. This one does, we also.
All right, the court for its part also does not believe there's a conflict either in the Michigan court rules or the cases decided thereunder. To the extent a conflict does exist, given the waivers, the court will consent to hear the matter. Am I waiting?
That's who I was calling.
I'm not gonna talk to you
You're not gonna talk to me.
unless you have good.
I'm asking for a really quick thing, so.
Denied. Court calls the case People versus Benjamin Coleman.
Allie said on behalf of the people.
Good morning. Miss
Good morning.
Sherilyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Benjamin Coleman.
Benjamin Coleman.
In Your Honor, today's date, time set for final settlement conference. At this time, the people are unable to proceed.
Motion to dismiss.
All right. For being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That's without prejudice. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ann, can you come here for a moment? I need to talk to you.
I know. Don't be surprised.
Okay. Court does call the case People versus Hidika Skib.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Kyle Burrell on behalf of Annika Skibb, who's approaching the podium and will be standing to my right. Ms. Skibb, once you get up here, please introduce yourself to the court.
My name is Annika Skibb.
Your Honor, this morning for final settlement, this time people are unable to proceed.
Fence moves to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That's without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Skibb has a tether on. Will she be able to go by today, or does she have to wait till tomorrow to go get the tether off from community corrections?
Keep it.
What do you think?
As much as I'm attached to it, Your Honor.
Literally.
Or it attached to you, right? She should be able to go over and get it taken off once they know that the case is dismissed. So before you leave here, you can turn your friend back in. Right?
Thank you, Judge.
Here. Court does call the case of the People versus Stephen Watson.
Allie Zend on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Watson, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Stephen Watson.
Today's date, time set for final settlement conference. At this time, the people are unable to proceed.
Motion to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That's without.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Deontay Arnold.
Allie Zend on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Arnold, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Deontay Arnold. Thank you.
In Your Honor, today's the day and time set for final settlement conference. At this time, the people are unable to proceed.
Motion to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That's without prejudice. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, you're good.
Court calls the case People versus Nicole Caldwell.
Escalante for the people. Not yet, no.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Ms. Caldwell, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, ma'am.
Nicole Caldwell.
We are final settlement, this kind of people not being able to proceed.
Motion to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That is without prejudice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case People versus Spencer Chambers.
Haley Zend on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren.
You were doing that all day yesterday.
I know I was.
I don't know what, and then when it got to afternoon, you said good morning, and then you,
I know. I don't know where I am, what time it is.
oh, that lends itself to confidence. Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, my client's not here. I did speak with him this morning. He lives in Lansing and does not have a car or transportation. So he could not be here. He was here in person for his last pre-trial. For the record, I would request an adjournment of the final settlement conference as people cannot proceed on this case.
Your Honor, I would ask for a bench warrant. This isn't his first issue here.
It is not, it is his third. And then having failed to appear, bench warrant will issue. Bond will be setting him at $25,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you.
Court does call the case of the People versus Haley Force.
Escalante for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Ms. Force, Your Honor, who unfortunately I do not believe is present. Our office did successfully make contact with her earlier this week and advised her this court date. I reached out to her again yesterday. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful speaking with her. I do not have an explanation for her failure to appear, but for the record, I would respectfully request an adjournment of this final settlement conference.
Bench warrant will issue for defendant's failure to appear. Bond is setting him at $25,000.
Bless you.
I will give a 10% privilege on that. That warrant will issue immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I apologize.
$25,000.
1,000%, thank you.
Court does call the case of the People versus Daniel Sims.
Escalante for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Sims, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Daniel Sims.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, we have reached a resolution in this case in exchange for a plea to an added count 2 of retail fraud in the 3rd degree, a 93-day misdemeanor, $500 fine or triple amount, contrary to MCL 570-356E4. That being retail fraud in the 3rd degree, retail fraud in the 2nd degree, currently charged count 1 will be dismissed.
That is correct, Your Honor, and that is what Mr. Sims would like to accept today. I do have the paperwork with me, the assigned advice of rights form. I do have the police report if the court would entertain a no contest plea. But I do understand the tardiness of the police report.
Pardon?
I do understand I am turning in the police report tardily.
Yeah, is he gonna plead guilty or no contest? You know,
He was asking to plead no contest, Your Honor.
pardon?
It don't matter either which way, I guess.
He does he is fine to plead guilty, Your Honor. He's ready to proceed either way.
Let's have him sworn.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes,
Go ahead, lower your hands, state your name.
Daniel Sims.
All right, sir, it is this court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of retail fraud in the 3rd degree. It
Yes,
is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $500, that would become the maximum fine. Do you understand that?
yes,
And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
yes,
And to that charge, how do you plead?
guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any questions regarding any of those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5. You see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights, which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
I am now.
Okay.
I am now.
Fair enough. At the time of this offense, were you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plea?
No.
Has anybody threatened you or coerced you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yes.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty?
Yes.
August 10th, 2024, at the location of the TJ Maxx store on Carpenter Road. Yes, at 3158 Carpenter Road, Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan. What did you do on that date that makes you think that you're guilty?
I walked up the store with a backpack.
Okay, so you went into the store, correct?
Yes.
And you took a backpack
Yes.
and you walked out without paying for it?
Yes.
The store was open to the public at the time?
Yes.
You didn't have anybody's permission to take that property, did you?
No.
And this backpack that you took was a backpack that was offered for sale by TJ Maxx?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's?
Your Honor, it was more than just a backpack. There were other items as well, but if the defendant will stipulate to the amount of restitution being $249.86, I don't have an issue with the factual basis.
I believe it would be proper to accept this court's plea, Your Honor, yes, and we would stipulate to that amount.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and determination of restitution. Sentencing in this matter will be
June 25th at 9 a.m.
June 25th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court calls the case People versus Daquan Hardwick.
Ally's on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Hardrick, who is approaching the podium. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Daquan Hardrick.
In your Honor, today's date, time set for final settlement conference. At this time, the people are unable to proceed.
Motion to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That is without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court calls the case of the People versus Cyan Taylor.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please state your name for the record.
Cyan Taylor.
Your Honor, we are set this morning for final settlement conference and 10 people are unable to proceed.
Move to dismiss.
People being unable to proceed, this case is dismissed. That is without prejudice. You want to keep your tether or you?
No, sir.
No?
No,
You sure?
I'm positive.
It looks great though.
No, don't feel good.
All right. You heard my instructions. Probably
Thank you.
go over there and get it taken off. Thank you.
Thank you.
Court does call the case. People versus Elizabeth Wilson.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Michael Kelly, P77187, on behalf of Ms. Wilson, who's present, stating the right. Your name?
Elizabeth Wilson.
All right, you're good. All right.
Your Honor, today is the date time set for final settlement conference. People are able to proceed. I understand that the defendant is going to be accepting the original offer of pleading guilty as charged with a prosecutor's deferred sentence. I'm sorry, she'll be pleading no contest if the court will allow. The police report I sent over this morning, I do apologize for the lateness, but that is something that could not avoid, I think, in this case. So that is our request today for the plea.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and so you got.
I do.
Go ahead and lower your hand, see your name again.
Elizabeth Wilson.
She signed an advice of rights form.
She did, Your Honor. At our arraignment?
She signed a new one.
I do not believe so, Your Honor.
I don't have, I do. That she signed on December 11th, 2024. Does she recall signing that?
Do you recall when you originally signed this document? Did I? I don't know. I don't know. And we also discussed.
Well, I'll pass it. She needs her rights and then I'll call you back up.
Yep.
Sorry.
Court calls case People versus Jarrell Davis.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Davis, who stands to my right, please state your name for the record, sir.
Jarrell Davis.
Thank you, Your Honor. There is a resolution in this matter to which my client will be pleading to added count 2 of allowing an ineligible person to drive, and in exchange count 1 will be dismissed. I do have a signed advice of rights form here.
And it is my understanding that Mr. Davis will be getting his license back next week, which is part of the reason for Mr. Docket.
Yes, that is correct. And he did show me that paperwork from the Secretary of State that he is eligible and all his other holds have been
And this
lifted.
is not going to abstract to mess that up.
It will not. Allowing an ineligible person to drive is not. No ops on a person, I believe, does, Your Honor.
Seven's one.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Go ahead and lower your hand, state your name.
Jarrell Davis.
All right. Sir, it is this court's understanding that you are going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand?
Yes.
Understanding that, you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
All right, you signed an advice of rights form today, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question about those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights of them.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Anybody promise you anything to get you to plead guilty to this charge other than what's been stated here today?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will?
Yes.
And because you believe that you're guilty?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. On the date of May 27, 2022, at the location of US 23 Famous Road in Pittsfield Township, Washtenaw County, State of Michigan, did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you allow someone who was otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle, maybe inclusive of yourself?
Yes.
All right, counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
People are satisfied.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything you want to tell me before I impose sentence?
No, I'm ready to get this taken care of.
And you get your license back?
Yeah, I was supposed it would have been Sunday the 8th, but I gotta wait till the 9th because it's on the Sunday.
Because it's on a Sunday.
So I gotta wait till Monday morning.
So how'd you get here? No, don't answer. don't even, I don't want to know. All right. I'll suspend 90 days in jail, fines and costs of $250. When do you think you can get that paid?
Next week.
Next week? All right, just get it paid 20th.
Okay.
All right, June 20th. All right.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you. Drive safe, eh?
Thank you, sir.
Court does call the case. People versus Jada Taylor.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Penny on behalf of Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, please state your name.
Hi, Jada Taylor.
Hello.
Your Honor, today is the date set for final settlement conference. The witness from Walmart was here earlier, Mr. Wright, and the defendant has elected to plead guilty as charged of sentencing under HIDA.
That is correct, Your Honor. She will accept that offer, and she did sign an advice of rights form.
That's sentencing under HIDA.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Ms. Taylor sworn.
You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Go ahead, lower your hand and say your name again.
Jada Taylor.
All right. Ma'am, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of embezzlement by an agent or trustee, 200 to 1,000.
Yes.
That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $2,000 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased to 3 times the value of the property taken. If that's greater than $2,000, that would become the maximum fine. You understand that?
Yes.
Understanding all of that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Yes.
Well, and to that charge, how do you plead? Guilty?
Oh,
Not
guilty. Sorry.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yes. I
You
understand.
signed an advice of rights form, is that correct? Any question regarding any of those rights? Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form. You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right. Are you on probation or parole? Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record?
No. Nope.
Anybody threaten you or coerce?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will
Yeah.
and because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense?
Yes.
June 9th, 2022, at the location of 7,000 East Michigan Avenue, that being the Walmart. Were you an employee of Walmart?
Yes, I was.
All right. What'd you do that makes you think that you're guilty?
I was an employee of Walmart and I was ringing up gift cards.
You were
Ringing up gift cards.
okay. You were a cashier?
Yes.
All right.
I was a customer service representative.
Okay. And you were ringing up gift cards?
Yes.
Explain to me, what do you mean you're ringing up gift cards?
I were loading gift cards. Loading gift cards.
You were loading gift cards. And when you were loading these gift cards, was somebody giving you money to load onto those gift cards?
No.
All right. What was your intent to do with those gift cards then?
Purchase stuff for my child.
Okay. Fair enough. You were going to keep those gift cards and then use them to purchase items from the store.
Yes.
All right. And at no time regarding those gift cards did you supply the money that was the sort of the backing for those gift cards, correct?
Mm.
You came into possession of those gift cards as well as had the ability to load those gift cards by virtue of the fact that you were employed at Walmart. Is that correct? And nobody from Walmart gave you permission,
No.
correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And the amount in total that you loaded onto these gift cards, was that in excess of $200?
Yes.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule? Would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
The people are satisfied. Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be
July 9th at 9 a.m.
July 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond will be.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
What am I calling? Court calls the case of the people versus Elizabeth Wilson.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Michael Kelly, P 7787 on behalf of Ms. Wilson, who's present. Stand for the record, please.
Elizabeth Wilson.
Did I have her sworn already? Pardon? I did. All right. All right, you have been sworn. And ma'am, it's this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading no contest to the charge of malicious destruction of personal property less than $200. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days of jail, $500 fine plus court costs. The fine could be increased 3 times the value of the property by $500. That would become the maximum fine. Understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes, sir.
2 things about a no contest plea I have to make sure that you understand is absolutely desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Second thing you need to understand is that for purposes of sentencing, the court would treat you the same though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Basis for the no contest plea.
The police report, Your Honor. That would be, oh, I'm sorry, concern for prospective civil liability, Your Honor. Caught me sleeping there. I was ready for it. I was ready for it. I thought you wanted me to give this exact number. I was like, okay. Proceed.
Well, thank you. My court. Appreciate you giving me permission. Ma'am,
Yes,
to that charge, how do you plead?
no contest.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, sir.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5 on that form. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes, sir.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yes.
Of your own free will?
Yes.
All right. Court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 23-16-502. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No objection.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
Satisfied.
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's no contest plea to this charge. Defendant is referred to probation for a pre-sentence investigation and report and determination of any restitution, and prosecutors deferred. Sentencing in this matter will be July 9th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Your Honor, can I get an alternate date on that? I'm supposed to be in Rochester at 8:30 that morning.
July 23rd at 9 a.m.
That works.
July 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bless you. Bond will continue.
Thank you.
Johnson and Mac and Drukas?
And Foster Tucker.
Really?
Not me. And Mr. Livingston. I kind of feel about that.
I really don't want to talk to any of them.
I know. We're gonna have a good time.
All right,
We only need 5 minutes.
you always say that, and then it's a half an hour later, and I don't know what the heck is going on.
We actually are on the same page this morning.
What?
We're on the same page this morning.
Are you in the same book?
Yeah, very close.
Probably right. I'll take them. Court is standing recess.
All right. All right, 48, District County, Washington, State of Michigan, down, back in session. The Honorable Judge Simpson presiding.
You may be seated. Court does call the case of People versus Angela Walker. Soon as the prosecutor comes back in, full B. And look over this. Heading out to the restroom.
apologize, Your Honor.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I acknowledge you were back there with me all the time. Everybody else got a chance to.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm actually lobbying for the people.
All right, this is on the Angela Walker.
Yes, Your Honor, there is an offer available to the defendant to plead to an added count 4 of operating while intoxicated with an occupant under 16. And I'm going to have to get that PAC code here for you.
And that is correct. And Sherilyn Foster Tucker on behalf of Angela Walker. Ms. Walker does intend on accepting that plea.
And if she does plead to that added count 4, they would be in dismissal counts 1, 2, and 3. People are not opposed to a no upfront jail sentence as long as the defendant remains compliant on bond. The PAC code is 257 625 7. A is in alpha 1.
All right, maximum.
Or I.
Maximum penalties on that.
It is a 1-year offense, $200 to $1,000, 30 to 90 days community service, cost of prosecution, rehabilitative programs, reimbursement, and other various license sanctions to the Secretary of State.
Oh, very good. This is going to be a guilty plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, that's very good. May I have her sworn?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Lower your hand and state your name.
Angela Walker.
All right. Ms. Walker, it is this court's understanding that you are going to be pleading guilty to the charge of operating while intoxicated with an occupant under 16. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $1,000 fine plus court costs. The court could order community service and any rehabilitative programs the court deems necessary. Court could also order your vehicle immobilized. Court order you to pay the costs of prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services. You understand all of that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. And understanding that, do you still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Now, you understand that by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind.
Yep.
You signed an advice of rights form, is that correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding any of those rights?
No.
All right, look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand that by pleading guilty, you'll be waiving or giving up those rights.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yep.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today in court on the record that it's making you plead guilty to this charge?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerce you in any way?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily?
Yep.
Of your own free will?
Yep.
And because you believe that you are indeed guilty of this offense, ma'am?
Yes.
November 23rd, 2024, at the location of 3211 Rosefield Drive, were you operating a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Prior to operating that motor vehicle, had you consumed intoxicating liquor?
Yes.
All right. Do you recall what you had and how much?
I had beer,
Okay.
like 3.
All right. Were you stopped by the police or was there an accident?
I was stopped.
All right. Why'd the police stop you?
There's an agitated event at my house and I walked away from it and my sister called and told them what car I was in.
Okay. Okay. And you're not disputing the right of the police to stop you in this case, are you?
No.
All right. And were you ultimately arrested?
Yes.
All right. Were you taken to the hospital for a blood draw?
Yes.
And what were the results of that blood draw?
I was 0.1.
0.10.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any reason to dispute those blood test results?
No.
All right. And at the time that you were operating this motor vehicle, was there a minor in the vehicle?
Yes.
And how old was that minor?
8.
Date of birth?
August 23rd, 2016.
All right. Counsel, have I complied with the court rule and would it be proper to accept this defendant's plea?
The people are satisfied.
Defense is satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 4. Counts 1, 2, and 3 are dismissed pursuant to the plea agreement. Defendant is referred to Von Schwartz
Ms. Simpsons.
Ron Swartz for an alcohol screening and assessment, and the victim's impact panel. Sentencing in this matter will be July 7th, 2025. July 9th, 2025, 9 a.m. All right. Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Start the process if you stop down at my probation department on your way out there on your way.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Wells. Court does call the case of People versus Carl Tinsley.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Mayor. Please, this honorable court, Kareem Johnson on behalf of Mr. Tinsley.
State your name.
Carl Richard Tinsley.
All right.
You understand the date set up for final settlement conference. The victim in this case is currently incarcerated. My office reached out to his attorney about his interest in participating with the case. We have not heard back yet. So at this time, I'm not able to represent that I'm ready to proceed. So I'm not ready to proceed.
Gotta ask this matter be dismissed without prejudice.
People being unable to proceed at this time, this case is dismissed. That's without prejudice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's call the case. People versus LaShawn Carver.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Edward Drukas on behalf of LaShawn Carver.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Afternoon.
Yeah, I guess it went into the afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, today is the date and time set for final settlement conference. We reached a resolution where the defendant is going to be pleading to count 3, attempted assaulting, resisting, or obstructing a police officer, with counts 1 and 2 being dismissed. At the time of sentencing, the prosecution will not be opposed to a fines and costs sentence.
That will
That was no contest.
That'd be a no contest pleaded.
And the basis for the no contest.
Lack of memory.
All right. Very good. May I have her sworn?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, with the truth, so help you God?
I'm fine.
And just state your name.
LaShawn Courtwright.
All right. Ms. Courtwright, it's this court's understanding that you're going to plead no contest to the charge of attempted resisting and obstructing a police officer. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year incarceration and $1,000 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes.
You understand what a no contest plea is?
Yes.
All right. 2 things about it I have to make sure that you understand. The first thing is it first of all means that you're not further desirous or wanting to contest this charge. You understand that?
Yes.
Second thing is that for purposes of sentencing, the court will treat you the same as though you had pled guilty. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. Understanding all of that, still wish to plead no contest?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
No contest.
You understand that by pleading no contest, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You signed an advice of rights for today. Is that correct?
Yes.
Any question about any of those rights?
No.
Please look at paragraph 5. You'll see a copy on the podium. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading no contest, you're waiving or giving up those rights.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right.
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Has anybody promised you anything other than what's been stated here today on the record to get you to plead?
No.
Anybody threaten you or coerced you?
No.
You're doing this voluntarily
Yes.
and of your own free will.
Yes.
Counsel, the court has been provided and has reviewed Pittsfield Township Department of Public Safety report for their case number 2371. Any objection to the court having reviewed that report?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Based upon a review of that report, the court does find that there's a sufficient factual basis in which the court could determine the defendant's guilt of this offense. Counsel, have I complied with the court?
People are satisfied.
Defense is satisfied.
Court will accept the defendant's plea to count 3. Counts 1 and 2 are dismissed. Defendant is referred to probation for pre-sentence investigation and report. Sentencing in this matter will be July 9th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bond will continue.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marbury. Court calls the case, People versus Carrie Chase.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. William Livingston on behalf of and with Carrie Chase.
Your name, sir?
Kerry Chase.
All right.
Remember, we had a chambers conference in this matter. I have heard from Mr. Livingston that the civil case related to this crash has resolved, which has been what's been holding us up for quite some time. We're very close to resolution, and I think we're going to get there short of trial, but I do understand at this time that Mr. Chase is going to waive his right to a jury trial. I'd like to have a bench trial. We're going to set that date with the expectation of both sides that we should be able to resolve.
Is that a quick statement?
It is, Your Honor.
Counsel, did you and your client execute a waiver?
No, Your Honor. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay. That Sir Matt knew where they were. He might have taken note.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Your Honor, Mr. Chase is signing said form as we speak.
All right. And sir, you're waiving your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that you have an absolute constitutional right to have the matter tried before a jury,
Yes, sir.
and that waiving that right is to be tried before this court without a jury.
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. People also, for the record, waive their right.
We do, Your Honor. I'll complete my portion of the form shortly.
All right. Based upon the statement of counsel, defendant court will consent to have the matter tried before without a jury. Non-jury trial in this matter is set for
June 23rd, 9 a.m.
June 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. That work for you, counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Bond will continue with its conditions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Look at the form that I need it. Court does call the case, People versus Victor Bullard.
Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Bullard, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Victor Toriano Bullard.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have the signed waiver of trial by jury form, and we are requesting that this court set this for a bench trial.
All right. Sir, you signed this form?
I did.
All right. You understand that you're waiving your right to a trial by jury?
I do.
All right. You understand that you have an absolute and constitutional right to have the matter tried before a jury?
Yes.
You understand that this will be tried before a jury or tried before this court without a jury? You understand that?
Yes, I do.
All right. People also waive their right.
We do, Your Honor.
Based upon the statement of counsel, and defendant court will consent to have the matter tried before without a jury. Non-jury trial in this matter will be set for
June 23rd.
June 23rd, 2025, 9 a.m. Bond with its conditions will continue. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Thank you, Your Honor.
Where'd that other form go?
I think it just got.
Oh, it went that way. All right. That's fine. Court does call the case, People versus Lori Anderson.
Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Hugo J. Mack appearing with on behalf of Ms. Lori Anderson. Your Honor, we did have an opportunity to have a discussion with Ms. Anderson here.
Hi, sir.
Hi, state your name.
Lori Anderson.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, the court, thank you for indulging us. Myself and the prosecutor, we did have a conference about this matter. My client has submitted a waiver of jury trial form to the court, and we would just request a bench trial date in July, if that's acceptable to the court.
All right, very good. Ma'am, you signed this waiver of trial by jury form?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have an absolute constitutional right to have the matter tried before a jury?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by waiving a jury in this case, it'd be tried before this court without a jury present?
Yes, sir.
People also waive their right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Based upon the statement of counsel, and defendant court will consent to have the matter tried before without a jury. Non-jury trial in this matter will be set. I think we. Okay, great. July 14th.
14th.
That work, Mr.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
July 14th, 2025, 9 a.m.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Bond with its conditions will continue.
Thank you, sir.
These other people staring at me. Are they all on legal services? Where are you guys?
Just got approval. You got approval? Is it making time to craft an order? Yeah.
Okay, let me call this.
Yes, please.
Sycamore Meadows versus Caleb Peak.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Carrie Zannon, 367-390 on behalf of plaintiff.
Your Honor, Jill Bauer, P 69260 on behalf of Ms. P, who is also present.
Caleb B.
Thank you. All right.
So we, in our conference room breakout session, we talked about, Ms. P applying for $5,000 to pay for some of the repair costs. And then, once the repairs, they might be able to move her to a different unit, but I'm still working on that part. So needless to say, Judge, I have settlement authority today to do pretty much what we discussed. The only thing I would really like, and I'm putting this on the record, is like a 12-month probationary period as long as no more lease violations, but I'll do it as a 4A. We'll do a conditional dismissal. That's where I'm looking. I just want to put you on notice. That's kind of where I'm looking at. And
Okay. I think, Your Honor, with that huge piece being out of the way, we can work out the details.
I think so too, Judge. I think that we're finally in a spot where.
Yeah, and I'll submit that rental assistance application today. And I have made a preliminary inquiry about it. Ms. P, since this was all like happening on the record, do you need to talk to me about anything before we finalize this? Or are you okay?
I think the way you can talk to her, like, let's lay some, because my client wants to go over it as well. I was gonna put something together, send it to my client, make sure she's okay with it, and then I'll send it to you, and then you guys can go from there as well.
Generally, Ms. P, what we're saying is we're gonna try to get 5,000 of rental assistance for you. And because of that, Sycamore is gonna agree to pay and try to rehouse you. So in general, does that sound good to you? Okay.
All right.
Somebody owes me lunch, Judge. Just saying, somebody owes me lunch.
I have a protein bar.
Nope, I'm thinking something much better than that.
How long will it take you to get all the paperwork and everything done?
Do you want to do 2 weeks, but we can submit something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, was 2 weeks, if you're okay with that.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna indicate case is settled as stated on the record. Order to follow.
Wonderful.
And then I will just set a control date of, I'll just set a control date of June 27th. What time is Sycamore cases on that day?
Ms. Zanin on that day, I believe is at noon.
All right. So, but if you settled it,
Of course, Judge. Yeah. Thank you.
And I know this, Ms. Zanin, if you could get me a letter today saying that that's what she owes, I can submit.
Oh,
it
yes,
with the
absolutely. I can do that.
All right.
Wonderful.
Thank you guys for working it out. Do
Thank you, Your Honor.
appreciate it.
Have a wonderful.
You do the same. Did you shut down at some point?
Yes.
Okay, because I got kicked out up here. I'll get on.
I'm sorry, I'm here.
Yeah, no, that's quite all right. But I don't know. I think. Okay. And I think we're good. Court does call the case of Arbor Manor versus Patrick Brooks.
Thank you, Your Honor. Paul Hughes, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Good afternoon. Your name? Patrick Brooks. All right. And where are we on this case?
Your Honor, this is a case that the defendant has alleged repairs needed to be made. there was a leaking pipe that was repaired. The remaining repairs are completing the drywall where the broken pipe was repaired. Unfortunately, the defendant will not allow us access during working hours. We're trying to arrange to have the drywall done over a weekend, and we hope to have it done this weekend.
All of that correct, sir?
No, they actually fixed the pipe that they actually worked on. They fixed that when I wasn't there. So I never said that I didn't want my apartment worked on when I was not there. I haven't been living there for almost 4 months now because you weren't able to, anytime
Do
you
you
flush.
allow them entry into the premises?
Yes.
So Mr. Hughes, on the record, he's allowing entry into the premises. So if you arrange it over a weekend, you can arrange it over a weekend, but he's allowing entry.
Perfect. Thank you, Honor. The balance of the rent is $2,957 plus court cost of $165. Do we want to adjourn this for a control date for the completion?
Yes. Why don't? Yes. So my next date is which? 13th next week. Will everything get done before next week?
I believe so. Yes, Your Honor. Now, I'm looking at the 13th. Yes, they'll be done.
Okay. Then I'll adjourn it to June 13th, 2025 at 12 p.m. noon. Okay.
Thank
We
you,
should
Honor.
have all the repairs done and we'll have to figure out what's owed on us.
And
all right.
And
You did
confirm I
not
do
file a
have-
written answer. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Hugh.
Yeah, and I was gonna make a note that you noticed it as well. There's no written answer that you had required.
Is there a reason you didn't file a written answer?
No, I heard you say something about that last week when we did.
I know you were supposed to file a written answer by June 5th. So you missed that deadline.
Oh, okay. I was on.
So, that may waive certain things that you have on the case, but we'll adjourn it out 1 week to get the repairs done in place. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Honor.
Thank you. Forrest Knoll versus Tequila Smith.
Paul Hughes, P 31986, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff.
Hello, what's your name?
Tequila.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, where are we on this case?
Thank you, Honor. My client, it has been brought to our attention about the condition of her premises. It's the type of repairs that are going to require us to relocate her. They have an available unit probably on the 15th of June. Perhaps we could adjourn this case to a date after the 15th for us to relocate
The relocator.
Miss Smith.
They let you know that, or
Okay. What'd you say?
did they let you know that?
Yeah, once I started going to court and stuff, they did say they got a unit, but they told me my rent needed to be paid up in full before they can move me.
That's not true, Judge. We'll move her.
So
but
that's what she told me before I came to court, but the court it was already filed.
we still have to address the rent, which is $1,500.
Right, we
So,
have
yeah.
to address the rent.
So I
but-
filed for rental assistance and I got $300 today, and I'm just gonna work on getting it paid down as much as possible.
Okay, so why don't you do this? You have 300 today.
Yep.
And we'll figure out what the balance is, but if your unit's in a condition where you gotta be moved,
Yeah, for sure.
they won't be able to do anything until the 15th. I don't have the 20th, so I'd have to adjourn it to the 27th.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yep, and I should have more money paid by then too.
all right, so June 27th, 2025 at
June 27th. Okay.
PM.
Okay,
What
thank
time,
you.
Judge?
Hold on.
12?
Pardon?
I didn't hear you. 12 p.m.?
No, at 3 PM on
3
that
p.m.
date.
Okay.
How much is your monthly rent?
147.
147?
Mm.
Okay, all right, so even if we click over into the next month at some point, it's not.
Yeah, next month they said it's going up.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
her
we'll
current,
worry
her,
about
her
that.
current rent, Judge, is $230.
It's 230?
Yeah.
Okay,
My papers say one something on this paper though, so they be confusing me.
Yeah, it's two. 2:30.
Anything else, Tequila, you want to yell?
That's what the papers say. That
No,
they-
you want, just listen. I'm just trying to figure out so that get you moved,
Yeah.
right? Then we'll figure out what the rent is.
Okay.
Just try to get everything settled. You got a problem with trying to
Mm-mm.
that way? Okay, all right.
It's going.
Now, if you want to yell at me, but
I ain't gonna let you.
look, I just wanted to know that in case we have to click over into the next thing. But what we'll do is we'll see you June 27th at 3 p.m.
Okay, thank
And
you.
then pay the 300. And then because you had this back balance, pay whatever you can as you're paying it before the 27th. So then we can see where we are.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep, thank you.
You have a great week.
You too.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good weekend.
You do the same. Mr. Kevin Asantowski versus Thomas Warren.
Thank you, Your Honor. Andrew Poter, P85101, appearing on behalf of attorney Lori Bruce for Kevin Ostentowski.
All right. And you are?
Kevin Ostentowski.
All right. Mr. Warren did not check in? All right. Would you like to take a call, counsel?
So with this case, the tenant's already moved out. I don't know if we need to necessarily enforce an eviction on his record, if we could have this defaulted against all occupants so that we can just get his possessions out. And so he won't have an eviction.
Determination case.
Yeah.
Raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, self again?
I do.
A notice to quit for possession of premises was served upon the Thomas Warren on April 8th, 2025.
Correct.
Yeah. You're gonna have a problem here. I don't know that your client has properly invoked the jurisdiction of the court. Now that I look at it, they only gave an 8-day notice to recover possession of property, and it's got to be at least 30.
That would do it. I guess we'll see you back here then.
Well, I don't know that you can, because I don't think that can be corrected.
Right.
The only thing that I can do, because that goes to court subject matter jurisdiction, the only thing that I can do is dismiss the case. You'll have to send another 30-day notice to the residents at least, because if he's moved out, he's moved out.
All right.
All right. So case is dismissed. Lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Courthouse case of Westridge Mobile Home Park versus Cindy Alvarado Lopez.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brent Taylor for plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Cindy Alvarado.
And where are we on this case?
Right now, I've got the rent at $1523.98. There's cost of $183, so the total balance is $1706.98.
$1706.98. All right. Did you pay your $600?
No,
You're supposed to pay that yesterday.
I know,
Why didn't you pay it?
because I can,
Pardon?
I came to, find somebody to give me that money. I receive paycheck next week, so
Okay, so you don't have the money?
no.
Okay. So how are you gonna clear up this balance?
I told you I receive paycheck next week on Friday because I lose my job, so it's my last payment check.
Okay. And are you working?
Not right now.
Okay, so you don't have a way that you're gonna get this money?
For next week, yes.
Okay. There's $1,700+ owed. How much is your check gonna be? Is that gonna cover that?
No.
So if you get your check, how much are you gonna have?
Maybe 100, 1,200, something like that.
About 1,200?
Mhm.
And what day do you get your check?
Friday, next Friday.
And then if you have 1,200 at that point, then how would you pay the other 500?
I'm gonna figure it out next week.
Huh?
I'm gonna figure it out next week.
You'll figure it out?
Yes, gonna
Okay, well, that doesn't
cleaning
help.
houses.
Okay.
Yes,
All right, you're trying to work on something else.
yes.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. If you've got a check coming next week on the 13th, and if I were to issue a judgment today, you would have until the 16th to get all of this done. But I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna find no tribal issue after a hearing on this case. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession to the plaintiff for 1706.98. But I'm gonna extend the date that you would have to pay it. I'm gonna give you one additional week. So I'm gonna make the writ the 23rd, that Monday.
Okay.
Okay, so you
Yes.
gotta get all of that paid by the 23rd.
Fine, comma, Milo.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
all right,
thank you.
thank you. And if you stop up at the counter, they'll give you a copy of this judgment.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Court does call the case of West Ridge Mobile Home Park versus Philip Traver.
Front take up the plan.
Your name, sir?
Philip Traver.
All right, and how much is owing on this?
I had 1526.93 of rent, 184.25 of cost, for a total of 1711.18 as of today.
All right. And sir, how were you intending on getting this paid? You said.
Does that include the 546 that was paid yesterday? I was short on what I told you I'd pay for this week, but I still paid 546 yesterday.
Okay, so you paid 546 yesterday.
Yes.
All right, so if I take you at your word that you did that.
The cashier's check handed to Jeff in the office.
Well, it's okay. Just stay with me. All right. 50. So how would you make up the balance on that? It's gonna be around 1,200 or 1165, somewhere around there. How are you intending on getting?
Right now, I'm just in a time frame situation.
You're in a what?
I'm in a time, working with my boss. We've now got it set up to where I'm gonna be back to 42 hours a week, plus possibly more. And I do other things. My plan coming into today was figuring on taking the rest of what's owed from May, the June rent, but there's, in the next few days, there's gonna be another 75 plus 181 or something. And then take $626 for July. And no matter what it takes between now and July 1st, I will have everything, including July 1st, July's rent paid.
All right.
And if I could possibly get my online payment capabilities back, I could start putting money in there daily or weekly, but they take that away when you're behind.
Right. Okay.
And so it can be showing progress every day, every week.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna suggest that you do. Try to work something out with the landlord regarding payments and how you're gonna do
They
that.
usually won't. They every time something comes up, they just say fair housing and you walk down the road. That's why we end up here.
Well, I don't know if that's why you end up here, but here's what I'm gonna do. There isn't a tribal issue for me, so finding no tribal issue after hearing, I'm gonna grant a judgment for that full amount of $1,711.18, noting that you paid the 546 that you've indicated, and if they have that, they have to credit it toward this amount. I will extend the time that you have to pay to the 23rd, like the last individual. So you'll have to figure out a way to get that paid or work something out.
Does that include, because, well, I've gone through a gauntlet of possible ways to help. I've talked with a Hawk and I got denied for SER and, got calls in with, Friends Indeed, Ypsilanti Housing, you know, but Hawk told me that if I apply for the SCR, I get 14 extra days. And I sent that tracking number into the email.
Well, I can adjourn it out to next week, but if I adjourn it out to next week, I mean, if you want to come back next week, that's fine with me, but if you don't have it paid, you're gonna get the same date. You're gonna get the 23rd.
I mean, I'll do whatever I have to do, but I just, at this point in time, my plan is just because trying to get help myself because I am a single person, you know, I don't have any. It's,
no, I
see a phone numbers and I call the phone numbers and every time, well, this group helps, these people help. And every time I call, it's 5 more phone numbers and I make a few more. And all it ends up doing is keeps me away from being able to go out and work and try to pull the money myself. That's why.
What would you like me to do? I can adjourn this out or I can give you the time that you would get now. What would you like to do?
I'm not even 100%, whatever gives me the longest amount of time, because I'll be out there working to bring
in a lot of ways, it's gonna be 6 1/2 dozen of another, but I mean, I'll adjourn it out to next week if that's what you want me to do. If you think that's gonna help you in some way.
I think we can go, you said, well, how many days, 23rd?
Yeah, 23rd.
Okay, just go with that and.
Okay.
Hopefully I'll have, yeah, well, at some point, I don't care what it takes out of me, by July 1st, I will have everything paid through that, including.
Right, and just so that you know, so I put it on the 23rd. If you can get it down low enough, and they may not agree to do anything, but you'd probably be able, if you're saying you're gonna get it paid by then, you'd likely have a little bit of time to get that done before anybody shows up to try to get you out. Okay, that's what I'm kind of plotting out here for you, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ingram. Court calls the case Ridgewood Apartments versus Amy Wise.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mark Swessinger, appearing on behalf of plaintiff.
Hello. Hello, what's your
Where are you
name?
going, David? Do you want to ask if you can hand it? Oh, hand it to.
What are you trying to give me, little one? Oh, bless your heart. Who are all these people? Is anybody on here me?
Yeah, the one with the heart over its head. He's nervous. He drew that for you last night. He was very excited.
Counsel, a young man has handed me a picture that he colored, so I'm trying to understand what I'm looking at so that you can see it.
Would you like to?
And I'm trying to figure out if something on there's me, like the one with
the love heart over top of its head.
With the heart, oh, that's me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Standing next to a tree.
Yes.
I did not bring the court gifts.
That's. I told him I wasn't sure if it was allowed, but
Judge, I'm gonna object. I don't think he's licensed, Judge. So I'm gonna object.
Thank you, young man.
Thank you, kid.
All right. So where are we on this case?
So, Judge, we were here last. Ms. Wisner had indicated she's going to apply for assistance. I don't know if she has or not, and where we're at with that.
All right.
Yes.
So what happened?
They had some clerical issues that they had to clear up to allow me to reset the SER because the application was automatically defaulting to reject my application.
Gotcha.
And it was because they appeared to, because I don't have a biological father involved. They were conceived by sperm donor. Sorry, everybody, it's too much information. But anyway, they had to remove that because it looked like I was rejecting child support. But there is no other.
There is no.
Legally, there's no one else involved. And so they had to get that cleared up, which took the last week. So I was finally able to reapply today.
Gotcha. Okay, and so we don't know the answer.
Don't know the answer yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what I will do is I'm going to adjourn this out 1 week, council, because to give time for that to happen and to give the 14 days. So I'll adjourn this to June 13th, 2025 at 1 p.m.
Okay.
Okay?
Next week, 1
Next
PM.
week, 1
Same time,
p.m.
same place.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. You two take care of each other. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Have a great weekend.
You do the same, sir.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Scio Farms versus Caitlin Bell.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Casey Matson, PH 7729 on behalf of plaintiff.
Right? Good afternoon. Your name?
I'm Caitlin Bell.
All right. And how much is owing on her?
Your Honor, we have a balance, total balance due including court costs of $2,879.38.
Okay, somebody coughed while you were talking. So what, give me that again, the total amount?
The total balance including court costs is $2,879.38.
All right. And ma'am, how are you intending on getting this paid?
Patty and I are actually in the talks of selling the home. We have a walkthrough scheduled for Wednesday at 2 p.m.
You're looking to sell the home?
Correct.
All right. So what do you guys want me to do on this case, given that? You want me to adjourn it out, or how do we?
Your Honor, in light of the fact that the balance is still due and owing, if we could get a judgment today to avoid coming back on this matter next week.
Oh, that was hurtful. No, go ahead. Yeah, because you're not going to get this paid down. You're just going to sell the home and kind of move on your way.
What I was thinking was from the sale, if we do come to that agreement, they would take what is owed and plus extra for possibly July and August, just to avoid this happening again.
Got it. Okay. Well, here's what I'll do then. There really isn't a tribal issue, so finding no tribal issue after hearing, I'll grant them a judgment for possession for that total amount of $2,879.88. Okay. I will, however, you still have things in the unit.
Yes, we are still currently living there. I can't really move. My brother's disabled, so it's not really feasible for us to move at this time.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If the home gets sold, how are you gonna get yourself out? I mean, what's the overall plan, I guess?
Well, I would like to stay. It's a gorgeous home. I don't have any issues with the park.
Right.
We're allowed to stay. That would be fantastic because we need to be near his specialists.
Oh, okay.
He's got a very long list of issues.
Your Honor,
yeah.
we would still be requesting that judgment with the writ to issue in 10 days because there is no tribal issue.
No, I understand that. I understand what your position is on it. I'm just trying to give enough time. If you had to get out, ma'am, when would you be able to do that?
It wouldn't be until August. If my hours at work have been cut severely, I lost 50 hours at work just in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm working 2 jobs and one of them is an as-needed basis.
Have you tried to get any assistance to?
I am going to be calling Hawk back this afternoon. We have been in contact with them.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grant that judgment, but did you do an SER?
I honestly don't know what
State
that
emergency
is.
relief application. Likely didn't because you were headed along a different path. All right. Here's what I'm going to do so that there's ample time to do everything. Call Hawk back, explain your entire situation to them. I will, however, not have the writ issue until June 23rd,
Thank you, Your Honor.
2025. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Court calls the case of Scio Farms versus LC Glue. Elise, what did I say? Elsie? I don't know why I said that.
Casey Matson on behalf of the plaintiff.
Your name,
Elise Lou.
which is exactly what it says. All right. Okay, where are we on this case?
Your Honor, there was a payment dropped off today for $918 via certified or via cashier's check. So the remaining balance is $2,142.64.
All right. How are we gonna get that paid?
Well, fortunately, so I am back at work because I was being treated for cancer and it's in remission. So I'm working again. My next check will be in 2 weeks from today. I had a check today. My next check will be 2 weeks from today, and I can pay the full amount. 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yes, Your Honor.
So on the 20th, you can get everything paid?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Then let's do it this way so everybody doesn't have to come back. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing. Since she made that one payment. And that's for 2142.64. The writ won't issue until the 23rd. That next Monday after you get paid. Glad you're back to work. Glad you're doing well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you take care.
Thanks, you as well.
Let's call the case. I'm sorry.
That was the 23rd, correct?
Yes. It
Okay.
was.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Sile Farms versus Gregory Pennington.
Casey Matson on behalf of the plaintiff.
Mr. Pennington?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, so what's the current balance?
Your Honor, I have the total balance right now is $2,589.30.
Okay, so that was $1,290. That would have been 2,000. Did you get you got that payment in that last time we were here?
Yes, Your Honor, the $800, and then I think it was a little over 1,000 I got paid for today. I don't remember exact. I didn't add it up what was left over. But yes, I paid the first
you
one.
did say that you were going to pay the 1,000 today.
Yeah.
And then that was going to leave us basically June rent, but it looks like we're a little bit short, given the numbers.
Well, I didn't pay the 1,000 yet. I'm still at work, so after I get off work today, that's when I'm going to get the money order and then drop it off.
Right, I remember you saying that, sir.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just, hold on a second. I'm trying to figure out. He was at 1801.73 last time we were here on May 30th. His monthly rent was about 1,300.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out how this number gets to that point, because it should be a little bit lower.
They had it on June. They had it on June, probably. That's why.
No, Mr. Pennington, hold on a second. I'm asking the plaintiff.
Your Honor, there was, so the rent is $1,294. That was added for June. The water is $105.81. The sewer is $112.76.
There we go. Okay. Okay, that accounts for it. It's just a water and sewer charge. Got it. Okay. Why my numbers don't look like they're adding up. Okay, so you say you're gonna pay 1,000 a day, and then that would leave you about 1,500 or 1,600. And how are you intending on getting that paid?
Within 2 weeks, because I get paid weekly now, and within 2 weeks, 2 Fridays, not this Friday, but next Friday, I should have all of it paid up.
Okay, so you should have it all paid up by the 20th, you think?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll issue a judgment finding no tribal issue after a hearing. judgment for possession for the 258930. That writ won't issue until the 23rd.
Thank
Then
you.
that will give you, you'll be able to pay it that Friday. I realize you get off of work late, so you need to get it in there by that Monday.
I was gonna say, if not, I do it on Saturday. First thing Saturday morning, if I get home late from work. Fridays, I usually Saturday morning. If I don't have time, I'll get it Saturday morning first thing.
Okay. All right. Very good. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sile Farms versus Derek Turgeon.
Casey Matson on behalf of the plaintiff.
Turgeon has not checked in. If you raise your right hand to be sworn. Did you get any communication from the VA on him? No.
My office did not, Your Honor. My client is also shaking her head.
Your Honor, we did not get anything.
It's a little strange because I think he was in the process of doing something. But anyway, if you'd like, want to take a default, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, we're requesting entry of a default possession only judgment. Rent to retain is $2,970.14. Court costs of $190.00 for a total of $3,160.14. Writ to issue in 10 days.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested, writ issue in 10 days. Sile Farms versus Derek Wanshan, excuse me, and Elizabeth Wanshan. Hello, what's your name?
Elizabeth Watson.
Watson. What do I do with the H?
It's unusual, I know.
It's silent?
It's silent, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, how much is owing on this?
Since June, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Your Honor, I have a total balance, including court costs of $2,905.46. She did make a payment of $800 on last week.
Last week. Okay. What's your plan for trying to get this clear?
As of this morning, Hawk did send me an email. They're still waiting on the ledger from the attorney's office and to go from there on what they can do.
Got it.
To help with that.
Do you know if a ledger's been sent over to Hawk?
I do not, Your Honor. I can check and see if we've received an email from them.
Okay.
I don't have
Don't have it. All right. Given that information, I am going to adjourn this out a week to June 13th, 2025. What time? 1 p.m. And if you could, who's your worker at Hawk? Do you know?
Autumn.
Autumn. So we can make sure a ledger gets over there so they can see what they're going to do. In the interim, in the next week, can you get anything paid on it, or do you? Is it in between paychecks?
Next Friday, we can put down a minimum of 800, if not more.
On the 13th?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just indicate 800 by the 13th also on it. Okay? All right. Great. We'll see you then. Court calls case Valley Ranch versus Kimberly. Is it Irizarry? Irizarry. I'm messing up everybody's name. It's okay. And also.
Saying Alcatraz.
Yeah.
What is it? Everyone butchers it. Hussein Alcatrani, Your Honor.
Okay, Alcatraz. Okay. Thank you for jumping in.
Of course, Your Honor.
Otherwise, it was going to be a problem for me. All right. What is plaintiff's claim today on this case?
Your Honor, we have a total balance of $3,796.08. I note that they did make a payment of $1,050 on June 3rd. However, I haven't been able to verify that that payment's cleared yet.
Okay. Last time we were here, you said you were gonna pay 1,400.
Yeah, I wasn't fully able to, Your Honor. I didn't work as many hours as I expected to.
Okay.
So, I didn't get paid that much. But
So you got the 1,050 you paid?
yeah, that I gave him my whole paycheck, so.
Okay. So if I take that 1,050 off, we're still at about 28, somewhere around there.
Yeah, and today, possibly by the end of today, because I work at 3, I could pay another 1,000.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if that happens, it's gonna bring us down, well, that balance would be half. And then how would you, well, it wouldn't be half, you take 2,000 off. You'd be about 1,800.
Yeah, which would be this month's rent, Your Honor.
That's your month, that's about your monthly rent?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so how are you guys gonna get this all paid off?
So in the next, probably this week, I'll pay another, or next week, I'll pay another 1,000. And
Right.
the week after that, I'll pay the rest.
On the 20th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to issue a judgment for possession, finding no tribal issue after a hearing. I'm going to, since you made that good faith payment and I get you, your check is a little bit short. I'm going to issue the judgment for $3,796.08. That doesn't take into account the payment that you made.
Okay.
Okay, next Friday, make that payment that you're gonna make, and
course,
then
Your
that next Friday, you can get this balance clear. And so, no rent until the 23rd.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Okay, let your paycheck get through.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem, and if I do it this way, I then don't have to try to butcher your name again.
Yeah.
All right? Okay.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Not a problem.
Appreciate
You
it.
guys take care of
You as
yourself.
well, thank you. God bless you.
Your Honor.
All right, thank you, counsel. I think that's it for you, right?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
All right, have a great weekend.
You as well.
Evergreen Apartments versus Denasia Hamilton.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. James Fink for the plaintiff.
Good afternoon. Hello.
Denasia Hamilton.
All right, and where are we on this case?
Her current balance is 2885.16.
2885.16.
And I'm just looking to see. Looks like she paid about $60 in the month of May. Don't make that about 180 in the month of May.
Is she?
I take that back. There was a payment made just yesterday, so.
Was that about 400?
It was exactly 400, sir.
Okay, that's what she told me she was gonna pay. So, how are you gonna get the rest of this paid, do you think?
Well, I've been working overtime, so I'm trying. I did reach out to Cindy, I think her name is.
Who?
Sydney is one of the people in the office, and she gave me some more resources to look into. As far as I know, DHS is not helping. They keep telling me to call 211, and when I do, the only person is Salvation Army, and they tell me they don't help, but they keep referring me back to Hawk, and I told them I've been denied from Hawk.
Gotcha.
She's over the income level, Your Honor.
Okay. And you get paid every other week, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's your next paycheck?
On the 13th.
Okay. And so out of that one, how much are you gonna be able to pay, you think?
I think I can pay about 500. because I'm not sure of how much it's gonna be, but I know that the holiday that she said is gonna be on it. But I am picking up a bunch of hours, so I really don't know how much it's gonna be.
All right, well, give me some time to work it out, but I don't really have anything to try. There's no tribal issue after hearing on this matter. You may want to continue to reach out for resources. I'll grant a judgment for the 288516, but a writ won't issue till the 23rd. Okay, so that at least gets you through that maybe two paychecks, but at least get you through one paycheck and get some additional funds and see what you can work out. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Evergreen Apartments versus Kayla Smith.
James Singh for the plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello,
What's your name?
Kayla Smith.
She's at
And where are we on this case?
299871.
Say it again. 49
299871. Sorry.
299871.
Just
All
under
right.
3,000. She has been approved and has some assistance coming that will cover almost everything. So if we could either set it aside or do a judgment.
When did they say that they're gonna get that? We don't know.
They said within 2 weeks. The only thing that, because I paid the amount for June, so the only thing that should be over what they said they're gonna pay is the late fee. But I talked to Sydney in the office and she said that she could waive the late fees if
If they can get that paid.
yeah, after they pay it.
So when did you talk to them when they said 2 weeks?
It was last Friday. They said, Hawk said that they were gonna pay, and then DHS said they were gonna pay 520 and Hawk was gonna pay the rest. And they said give them 2 weeks for the payment.
And that was last week.
Yeah, I believe so.
So this would be 1 week. Here's what I'm gonna do on this one. I'm gonna adjourn this out to the 13th. Let's see if we can get it paid prior to a judgment entering. 2025 at 12 noon. Okay, let's see if the checks get there.
Okay.
How about that? All right?
Okay, thank
All
you.
right, take care. Evergreen Apartments versus John Hudson.
James Singh for the plaintiff.
Hudson, no response. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you solemnly swear or affirm testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Go ahead, sir.
Your Honor, this is an action for non-payment of rent. This defendant owes $1,128.93 in rent. The costs are $172 for a total of $1,393 possession only.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession. Redemption amount is in the amount requested. Writ issue in 10 days. Evergreen Apartments versus Nelsa Nieves Martinez.
James Singh for the plaintiff.
Oh, she is. Nieves Martinez.
I see her.
Here?
Yes. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. If you can turn on the camera, that'd be great. Oh, there she
There it
is.
goes.
Okay. All right. How much is owing on this?
Including costs is $5,488.17. She's eligible for Hawk, but she's got to pay the other $2,500 first, which was the $2,500 I think she said she was going to pay,
Yeah.
but didn't.
Did you get that paid?
No, I'm not going to be able to. My son broke his leg, and there's no way I'm going to be able to stay in his apartment and bring him up 3 flights of stairs. He's going to be out for at least a year with a bad leg.
Got it.
And he's
All right.
autistic.
And what was the total
Basic
amount, Mr.
words.
Fink?
$5,488.17.
Got it. All right. That's regrettable to hear, but I'm gonna find, after hearing, find no tribal issue, I'll issue a judgment for possession in that amount with a writ to issue the 18th.
Thank you.
What does that mean, Your Honor?
What that means, I've issued a judgment. If this amount's not paid by the 18th, they can seek an order of eviction to have you removed from the premises.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
All righty.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Glencoe Hills versus Devonta Jackson.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
And also La China Williams.
You got it right.
I got it. I got it. I didn't mess it up, Miss Williams. Did I?
No, you didn't.
Okay, I'm gonna have to be honest. I don't know what I would have said, but my judicial coordinator was in my ear saying La China, La China. So I didn't mess it up. All right. I'd love to be able to take credit, but I can't. All right. Okay. What is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Including costs, $2,981.61.
All right, Ms. Williams, how are you guys going to get that paid?
Well, I heard from Hawk. Well, I had a caseworker named Caitlin. I only heard from her from the intake visit about seeing if I could get approved for the funds, but I haven't heard from her since then. And I've been emailing and calling, but I got nothing. And DHS denied my SCR twice.
Got it. So, Mr. Fink, you see anything regarding? We don't have Amy today, but
Just our notes just say that no one's heard anything since the last week of May. I think it was the 27th.
And ma'am, how often have you been trying to get through to them? They just can't.
I emailed Caitlin 4 times since the last week, and I called there 3 times. I called them today, and they said they would reach out to her, but I haven't heard anything.
They can't do this to people. Well, this number's not going to get any worse. I'm going to adjourn it out 1 week. Ma'am, you just keep trying.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get somebody to tell us yay or nay. And then we can figure out where to go, right?
Okay. Okay.
June 13th, 2025 at 12 noon.
That's over the plaintiff's objection, Your Honor.
Pardon?
It's over the plaintiff's objection.
Of course it is.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to do it anyway. Let's just see. She's trying, but people have to give people answers.
I understand.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Williams. Huron Vista versus Wilbur Burrell.
James Fink.
Burrell, not here. If you'd like to take a default, you may proceed.
Your Honor, this is one of the, actually all 4 of these defendants have agreed to participate in that payment plan that I know the court's aware of for Huron Vista.
Yes.
Could how about if I take a default on the record and either submit a COD or a judgment under the 7-day rule?
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
And if we enter a judgment and he participates, then we'll set it aside.
Okay, very good. So, what are your proofs?
Your Honor, this defendant owes $1,347 in rent. The costs are $176 for a total of $1,523 possession only.
Judgment to the plaintiff. That's by default for possession. Redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days. Huron Vista versus Alicia Moore.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Oh, she's here.
James, I'm I'm sorry, she's coming up.
Yes, she is. Hello.
Hi, Alicia Moore.
Okay, she's here. Were you participating in the program there or?
Yes, I do have a question. Maybe I need to talk to my leasing agent because the guidelines is saying that they'll give a 1 month forgiveness. And I didn't understand which month they were forgiving. Being that I'm paying June and Hawk is paying the back pay. I just wanted to know what they were, because it's very intense. Once you sign that paper, it's like very strict guidelines. So I want to make sure what they're actually waiving.
I can answer that, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
They will waive up to 1 month's rent. So it would be the balance that's due after Hawk makes the payment and she makes her payment plan payment. She still has to pay June, July, and August on time, and she's probably going to have to be. She'll pay June. She'll have to pay July and August on time. Whatever Hawk pays will get credited, and then up to 1 month can be waived if she complies with everything through those payments. If Hawk pays the entire balance, she doesn't get a credit, but she can have the balance wiped out up to that amount.
Yeah, that's why I was a little confused because they're taking care of, I just have to do my part for this month. They're doing their part. What are we waiving?
Yeah.
Why am I doing this? I just don't want to set myself up for something.
No, I got you. I understand. I mean, there's not a lot of moving pieces, but you're just trying to make sure you do what you need to do.
Yeah,
Okay, were you talking to the office about this?
I was, and there's a lead guy that's over in another area who handles everything. So I've been communicating with him. I don't want to,
Okay, let's do this. I don't want you to be confused about it. Let me adjourn it out 1 week, the 13th, 2025 at 12 noon. Give you an opportunity to talk with them more and clarify exactly what it is. How's that work?
Sounds great.
Your
Thank
Honor,
you.
could we would the court be willing to, with the information that has been provided, advise her of MCR 4.201J so that if she decides that she's comfortable and wants to sign the COD, she doesn't have to come back?
Okay, so that makes sense to you? If the paperwork gets signed, there are certain things I have to advise you on the record, or you have to be advised of before I can sign off on it.
Okay.
Right? So if you guys enter into an agreement, you sign off, you won't have to come back to court. And so I'm going to advise you of the rights under that right now.
Okay.
Okay? So, ma'am, you would have 3 business days from the date of my signing of the conditional order of dismissal, which it would be, to file a motion for the court to set that aside. All right? If for whatever reason there's some confusion, some misunderstanding as to what your legal rights are, or your belief that some right that you have you didn't assert, you'd have to file that motion within 3 business days of my signing. Doesn't mean that I would set it aside, but you'd have that opportunity to file that motion. You understand that, ma'am?
Yeah.
All right, very good. All right, so then maybe we can then get it entered. You don't have to come back.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
righty. You take care. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Huron Vista versus Jacqueline Taylor.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Oh, she's here. Jacqueline Taylor and Tania Tolliver. Tania Tolliver.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Jacqueline Taylor. I'm the mother.
Okay. All right. And Mr. Fink, how much is owing on this?
Including costs, it's $2363.03, and they are eligible for the payment plan.
Okay. So, Ms. Taylor, were you going to participate in that program at Huron Vista?
Yes, sir. We was communicating this morning, me and Mr. David. We're having some kind of difficulties with my portion of the rent. Section 8 gave me a paper saying they changed it in April. They gave them a paper saying they were going to change it in July. So he's going to look into it. He told me he would get back with me, but we're having some type of communication, a difficult communication with that part of the deal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we're
Okay.
going to move her from June, July, August to July, August, September. So if we could do the same thing, Your Honor, set it for the 16th, or 13th, and hopefully she won't need to come back. We'll get it signed and done this week.
All right. So, ma'am, I'm going to adjourn this out to the 13th at 12 noon.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
If you work out all of the paperwork and sign off on it, then you won't need to come back to court so that I can then enter it. But from the date that I enter it, you would have 3 business days to think about it. If you believe that there's some confusion, some legal right you didn't assert, or some mistake, or otherwise there's some confusion on your part, you would have those 3 business days to motion to this court to set it aside. That doesn't mean that I would, but you'd have those 3 business days to think about it, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Here on Vista versus Rodney Taylor.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Rodney Taylor did not check in, so I guess if you'd like to take a default on this, you may, and then set it aside, or I'll receive a COD in lieu of the judgment.
That's exactly what we're hoping will happen, Your Honor. Mr. Taylor owes $2,612 in rent. The costs are $176 for a total possession only judgment of $27.88 even.
All right. Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount, in the amount requested with the writ issue 10 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who's this? Peninsular Place versus Brianna Johnson.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Hello.
Hello,
Your name?
Brianna Johnson.
All right. And applied through Hawk, what is owing currently?
Including costs, $3,489.98.
How are we gonna get this paid?
So, the last time we talked, I had told you that I was having communication issues, and then I told you I could pay $750 yesterday.
Yes.
But I just didn't know, like, I never like did none of this before, so I'm trying to figure out like what's the process of paying it. So that's the only reason why I haven't paid it yet. But I didn't get as much hours, so I only got 400 instead of 750.
Okay.
But I also did Wednesday. Kaylin, she emailed Peninsular Place and she asked them for some documents, and she said once they get the documents to her that they could go through with the process. And then they emailed her back and said that they have probably contact her at the end of this week or the beginning of next week.
Gotcha. Okay. So here's what I'll do. It sounds to me like there are people that may be able to help you. I'll find no tribal issue after a hearing on this matter. I'll enter the judgment in the amount requested by the plaintiff. However, a writ would not issue until the 20th.
I should be able to, so because I think that Hawk pays like at least 3,000, that should be already paid before then.
Right. If Hawk will pay it, you're going to be, and then you need the 500.
Yeah,
Which,
that should be paid way before then.
right. So hopefully, that's why I set it out this way. Hopefully everything will get paid up. Just need Hawk to do their part. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that was Miss Johnson, correct?
Pardon?
That was Miss Johnson?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Got a little confused with my paperwork.
Peninsular Place versus, is it Jacqueline Gardner?
I think she's on Zoom.
She is.
Hi.
Hello. What's your name?
Jacqueline Starner.
All right. And where are we now with her case?
Her total is 2877.81.
All right. Ma'am, how are you intending on getting that paid?
2877.
2877.81, but this is that one. Yeah. Okay.
So it's
Do
not
you have an
2,477. I'm seeing like three different numbers, and I called them 2 hours ago, and they said that the 2,477 was accurate. Is that not what he see?
Mr. Payne?
Something?
She said that she called and said that it was 2,477.81. Was that right, ma'am?
Yeah.
And they said that it was right.
I show
And I got my ledger too. My ledger says that as well.
you. It's interesting, Your Honor, because I've got a ledger that shows she paid 400 yesterday by check, and that's what took her balance to 2877.
Got it. Okay.
You see both
So they
400s. You see the one from
credited-
last week too.
I did not hear her, Your Honor.
Go
Do
ahead.
you
I'm
see-
sorry, Miss Gardner.
Okay. Do you see both payments for the 400 from last week as well?
No, I see a payment of 440 in April on the 7th, and then 400 on 6/5. Did you make a second payment yesterday?
Yeah, I made 400 yesterday and 400 last week, and then I made 200 this morning.
Give me just one moment, Your Honor. I'll see what I can figure out. I don't have anything. If you want to pass it, I'll try to call them when we're done. Or if she paid it, she'll certainly get credit for it, Your Honor.
There's a
Right.
couple checks on there as well. When I called them, they said that ACH payments have been going through, and I'm assuming my family has been paying, and that's been also taking my balance down. That's on my ledger that's on my account online as well that they confirmed.
So they said there's ACH payments that have not gone through?
They cleared. They got the money for them, but it's not deducting.
Okay. So, well, Ms. Gardner, are you going to continue to pay? I know this is a strange circumstance because
Yeah.
she would qualify for HAWK, but she's on pregnancy leave. And because she's on pregnancy leave, she doesn't qualify for HAWK. So, I mean,
Yeah.
and I know she
yes,
said
I'm
the
gonna
last
continue
time.
to pay.
Pardon?
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to pay what I can through family, but yeah, the Hawk thing denied.
Why don't we just adjourn it a week, Your Honor?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. June 13th, 2025 at 12 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll try to get those payments cleared up. Keep paying. You and your family keep paying, and let's see what we can do with this. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner. Peninsula Place versus Carly Kenny.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Carly Kenny did not check in. You may proceed.
Your Honor, this is an action for non-payment. The defendant owes $112 in rent, $250 in costs, for a total of $362. Requested default judgment for possession only in that amount. I'll add no writ without a hearing to line 10.
Thank you. Judgment to the plaintiff. That is by default for possession, redemption amount, any amount requested with the writ issued 10 days, no writ without a hearing. Thank you. Peninsula Place versus, is it Yaye Cece? Yaye Cece? They're not here. You may proceed, sir.
Defendant owes $470.18. The costs are $230. Requested default in the amount of $700.18.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount in the amount requested with the writ issued 10 days.
Thank you.
Court calls case of Peninsula Place versus Amy, is it Diagne?
James Sink for the plaintiff.
Diagne, they have not checked in. You may proceed.
This defendant owes $1,344.54. The costs are $230 for a total of $1,574.54.
Judgment to the plaintiff, that is by default for possession, redemption amount is in the amount requested with the writ issue in 10 days.
And Your Honor, I don't have the complaint in front of me, but it looks like we paid the supplemental fee. Do we have personal service on any of those?
On any of those?
I'm sorry, so Kenny, CC, or Diagne?
Oh my goodness. And yes, on Diagne, you have personal service, so there'll also be a money judgment.
Thank you.
I think that's what that, I don't know what that's trying to tell me.
Yeah, it is.
It's personal.
It's Horton Place, yeah.
All right. And on CC, you only have, well, they were here, weren't they? Yes, they were here, so you get a money judgment on that one also. They were here the previous week.
Thank you.
And then on Kenny, they were also here the previous week.
Thank you.
All right, so you get a money
I should
judgment
not
on
ask
that
you.
one. All right, Peninsula Place versus Crystal O'Connor.
James Sink for the plaintiff.
Hi, Honor.
Hello, what's your name?
Crystal O'Connor.
All right. And what is plaintiff's claim in this case?
Ms. O'Connor owes $3,099.88 in rent. The costs are $250 for a total of $33.49.88.
All right.
Okay, so I know I was supposed to pay the 400, but I made a mistake and told you the wrong date. I do not get paid until the 11th.
Oh.
And I can make that 400 then. Washington mental health denied me, so I won't be able to get help from them. But I am trying to reach out to Friends Indeed, because I haven't been through them. So I'm trying to reach out to them, but they haven't answered the phone yet. So I'm working on that, and also I'm trying to get another job. I went to a job interview yesterday, and I'm just waiting on them to give me the information to start the job.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grant a judgment for possession as well as a money judgment in the amount of the $3,349.88. Finding no tribal issue after a hearing in this matter. Or maybe over plaintiff's objection. I'm gonna give you to the 23rd to get that paid. So I'm gonna give you about a week additional time to try to figure out how you're gonna get this paid.
Okay.
Okay?
So that means I have to have the whole.
That whole amount by the 23rd.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Private Asset Management versus Sandra Moore.
James Fink for the plaintiff.
Hello, Ms. Moore.
Hello, Ms. Moore.
Hi.
Okay. Where are we on this case?
Shows 25, 15, 55.
I paid $875 yesterday.
She
Paid
did.
870.
I
Paid
did.
875 yesterday.
I did, and I'm still waiting from Hawk, waiting to hear from Hawk. My caseworker is Caitlin, the same. I'm having the same problem that other young lady is having. I'm emailing her, calling her, and I have not heard anything else. Haven't heard anything back from her.
Okay. So did you have, you said you paid 875?
I sure did.
Do you have that credited to her account yet or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's where we get, okay. All right. So here's what I'm gonna do, because I don't know where Caitlin is, but I'm going to adjourn this out 1 week.
Okay.
You keep trying to get through so that they can give you an answer one way or another. I mean, just, so the 13th, 2025, is that at noon?
Yes.
12 noon.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Miss Moore, you have a beautiful weekend.
Okay, you too.
The Haven versus Mary Heineman.
Yes, thank for the
She
plaintiff.
is.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name?
Mary Heineman.
Okay. And let's see where we are in your case. What do you have her owing at this point?
Her total is $29.93.92, and I think she's going to have it all paid by the 18th.
Yeah, Puck said that they would be able to, they submitted the request and it was approved, and they said it would take 10 to 14 days to pay.
So Hawk is going to pay this? Is that what you have, Mr. Fink?
Let me just double check. I don't think I have how it's going to get paid, but that she's confident. Oh, she is. They say the check is in the mail.
Okay.
That's kind of what she was telling me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to issue a judgment. Miss Simon's been here and it looked very bleak for a while as to how this was going to get done, but she stood tall and did that. So I'm going to give her a break and I'm going to adjourn this. I don't have the 20th. I'm just going to adjourn it over plaintiff's objection out to the 27th, 2025 at 2 p.m. And if it's all paid, you don't have to come back. All right.
Not that I don't want to see you, but my work schedule, it's been stressful. So thank you.
Well, thank you for telling me it wasn't because of me. I do appreciate it. All right. You
Thank
take
you.
care. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
The Haven versus Whitney Albright.
James Sink for the plaintiff.
Hey there.
Hello. What's your name?
Whitney Albright.
All right. And what's the claim on this case?
$26.89.97, and she says she will have it paid by the 6th, or she says she'll have it paid by the 18th, and my client has agreed to extend the redemption period to that day.
All right. Is that correct, ma'am?
It is, yes. I made my payment this week and I'll get paid in 2 weeks again and I'll make the rest.
All right. I'll find no tribal issue after a hearing. I'll issue a judgment for possession, 2689.97, with a writ to issue the 18th. All right. So get that paid and then you'll be all set.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Is that it for you, Mr. Fink?
I believe it is, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Thanks for allowing me
All
to
right.
resume.
Not a problem. Have a great weekend, sir.
You also, sir.
James English versus Shauna Snyder. English would go over here. Is there English?
Yes.
All right. We're down that side. Snyder?
Oh.
All right, come on. Yes, come on. You're over here, right here, just right there.
Over here.
Yeah, right there. All right, this is a termination of tenancy case, and folks, what's going on?
We moved her in because she was getting evicted from her other residence. Her husband moved out on her. And we allowed her to move in without no lot rent, no fees. And she come out one morning and started taking pictures of me, implied that I was stalking her. I feel uncomfortable with her being there.
Okay. All right. What's the relationship between the parties? Any?
She's the daughter or friend of my wife.
That's why we allowed her.
Hold on a second. Okay, so who are you?
I'm his wife. I'm also on lease. That's why we allowed her to move in. We're trying to help her out. She's been there 3 months.
Okay, hold on. Just
Physical altercation.
all right. So still trying to figure
It's
this out.
just a bad situation all the way around.
Okay, that's not what I was gonna ask. Who is she related to?
She is my daughter.
Thank you. That's a simple answer I was looking for. All right. So your daughter moved in because you got evicted from your other residence. Is that correct, ma'am?
That's not correct.
Okay. So what happened?
I was living at another residence with my husband at the time, and he was abusive to me, so I had to separate from him, and then he left the house. He was being evicted. I wasn't on a lease at all. But
Got
I was gonna put on there, and then they allowed me to come with them and stay for, I said it was just temporary. I just needed like a little temporary. I wasn't gonna be there forever. I just needed to figure out,
What you were gonna do?
yeah, because all what I was gonna do got messed up, like with everything. And
Okay. And
he has been very inappropriate, the way he acts around me. I can't even take a shower in that house. I can't do laundry. I always have to have my phone because I don't feel comfortable.
Okay.
And then she called the cops on me after that and said, "You're not locking my husband up, B word." I got that on recording.
Okay.
That day.
All right. So, but you don't have a lease there, correct?
No, I don't. I don't want to stay there either.
Okay.
You know that.
So when did, ma'am? So when are you going to leave?
As soon as I can. I was thinking the first is probably the soonest I can.
Did you bring a lot of property with you?
I have a bunch of it in storage, and I have a bunch in that room in that house. And I have a dog and a cat, and they know that. It's really hard to find like a room to rent with pets, and they want
Okay.
$1,000 a month for a room.
I gotcha. So when do you folks want her out? Okay, that's not happening.
Yeah.
What's a reasonable time for her to get out of the premise from your perspective?
7 days.
Okay, by law, she at least gets 10.
Okay, she get 10.
What's the attitude with this? I mean, you guys moved her in. You realize the circumstance, at least she's saying that she was in, and you got to give her time to move out. You let her move her stuff in.
We did, but we wasn't expecting for her to start calling me a stalker and all that. I feel uncomfortable with her in my house now.
What would be a reasonable period in your mind for her to move?
10 days.
Okay. You guys can maybe sit there and think about what you're doing. Whether you like family or not, you got to deal with it that way. You let her move in. So think about a reasonable time for her to get out. You've had to go through this. I don't want to hear from you right now because I'm going to get up and leave this bench because I'm not happy with any of you.
Are you speaking?
Figured you, what did I just say? What did I just say?
Court's going to stand in recess.
All right. Anybody wants to speak?
You want to know what? You want to know what? You're going to be in contempt and you're going to go. You are not even a named party on this case.
You might want to go out there and sit down. Go out there and sit down. Now.
No problem.
Now, go. Just go. One more word and you're out of here. One more word.
No problem, ma'am. Hey, don't think you go, okay? Okay, now you can turn.
Want me come up there?
You can wait till he comes in and calls the case.
Huh?
You can wait till he comes in and calls the case, or you can just sit and take it out.
All right.
You can come back. All right?
You may be seated. We're back on the record in the case of English versus Snyder, and both parties are here. And I'm just going to try to resolve this because apparently the parties can't do it themselves. I'm not going to try to use whatever water under the bridge. You're saying you want to the first?
Yes, please.
You are saying, sir, that you want a statutory times 10 days and you're stuck on the 10 days.
No, she can stay to the first, it's just as long as she agrees to get out.
Okay. I appreciate that. All right. And that's a reasonable way to handle this. So what I'm going to do is a termination case. I'm going to grant a judgment for possession after hearing on this case. The writ date, July 1. Okay. Now, so they can act so that both parties understand this, okay? On July 1, they can file what's called an order of eviction or request for an order of eviction to have you forcibly remove from the premises. I don't think you want to put anybody into that.
I'm not even trying to get evicted. I don't have any evictions on my record.
Okay. You have to file with the court, sir, a judgment form, and you have to fill that out for my signature. Okay, so you can, I'll get you guys out of here. You can pick one up at the counter, file it with the court. I'll sign off on it. All right, that will give her until July 1 to vacate the premises. All right. Anybody unclear as to that? All right.
I'm not.
You're clear.
I'm clear.
Okay. For you, sir, I'm going to tell you because what you don't want to do, and you may want to inform your wife of this, is to in any way, prior to that date, try to do anything that looks like it's your own self-help in terms of getting her out. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
But she's still not allowed to have company over, right? She's in the past.
Okay, look, that's not before me. Okay. I can't, I do a lot to rule people's lives. I can't tell who's going to be, I'm not going there. Okay.
All right.
The only thing I can tell you is that as of that day, that's that. Okay. Now, I'll give a suggestion while I can't order it. Okay. Young lady, how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay. You can like your parents, you can not like your parents, you can not do whatever. But when things got bad, that was somebody that gave you a roof over your head. Okay. And so it doesn't mean you even have to talk to them. But I think it's sometimes important, and I think I'll call you a kid because you are somebody's kid, right?
Right.
That these days, sometimes they're just not respectful of that. So while I'm not ordering it, I just say to you, just be respectful. They don't want you to have.
And like the whole time I've been there, followed all the rules. And they let me have one person over, only one person per company, and then they took it back after all that. They're like trying to.
Okay. Well, but I get it, but this, you know, what you guys are telling me are what parents and kids have been dealing with forever, right? And so, you know, when my daughter stays with me, I can tell you, she's thinking I'm changing. I'm thinking to myself, that's what I said all along. But from her perspective, I'd let this happen and then I changed something. I didn't change anything in my view, but I get it. Okay. So, you know, just do it and try to work through it. Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay. And the same thing for you. Just try to work through it. Sometimes it's better if all of a sudden at one given moment you want to say something, just don't say anything. Count to whatever. Just don't say anything. And then maybe 30 seconds down the road, you're not quite as unhappy about it. You just try to figure it out. Okay?
You said I gotta get some kind of form.
Yeah, you got to get paperwork. Ask them for a judgment form.
Judgment.
At the front counter. All right, then you just got to fill that out. Okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. So I can trust that you two will walk out of here peacefully and not
I will not
go at it in the hallway. Huh?
No.
Either just can you two walk out peacefully, or do I have to have
With him.
escort? All right. Then here you go. And you sit there. You sit there and then we'll get you out. Okay? All right. Do I have anything else? I don't have any.
I'm a regular over at the Trial Watch Clips channel, where you go for clips of your favorite judges and your favorite attorneys and your favorite trials and your favorite cases.